Speaking of recent releases, we're going to do some quick reviews of the latest released movies. Starting off with No Time to Die. I have seen this movie. Ben, unfortunately, has not. How many of the Daniel Craig Bond movies have you seen?
Three. I
Three?
watched back in February 2020. I was getting ready, and so I watched Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall within about a week of each other. And so I was like, you know what? I got time before No Time to Die. I know Spectre's not that great. I'm gonna wait. And about a year and a half later, I still haven't
Mm,
made myself being like able to watch it. So sorry.
yeah. No, it's okay. I myself have um I don't know how much I've seen in full. My dad almost always like every week had Bond on the TV depending on the movie. So I've seen pieces of like Quantum of Solace and Casino Royale. I know I've seen Skyfall and Spectre in full, and those are the two movies you really need to know going into this. I would say the other two you just really need to know about Vesper. But yeah, getting into the actual movie. I'm not a huge Bond fan myself. It's not that I dislike the movies. It's just I've never like watched a ton of them, especially the older ones. I really only would watch the Daniel Craig ones. But getting into this one, I think this was a really, really well done movie. This like reminded me of what blockbusters should actually look like nowadays. I mean, this was an expensive movie, like 200 million, I believe. But when you compare it to other blockbusters, like specifically in the MCU, which
Mhm.
just look, I mean, I like a lot of those movies. They just don't look that good. And this just looked amazing. Like, especially since so much of it was practical, like on set, there was really no CGI at all. And like, I don't know, with past Bond movies, I feel like the older ones, they would go to these locations and you'd be like, wow, I really want to go there. I didn't feel that so much in movies like Skyfall, but here it's like these locations, especially the opening scene, they're just like so well shot, and just in general, the craft here behind every scene is incredible. The visuals, the action. I mean, the choreography isn't like it's not like John Wick level good,
Mhm.
but it's still the craft is so good behind each scene that it's still like so detailed and well executed that it's still very entertaining to watch. Um, the sound design, as always with these movies, is really good. In particular, a scene in the opening scene when a bomb goes off and his hearing is messed up kind of gave me Sound of Metal vibes.
Oh,
Um,
like in the rhythm section. That incredible
Liking that
spy
too.
film.
Yeah. Yeah. Less said about that, the better. Um, back to a good spy movie. Yeah, as I said, the practical effects is really good. The character work here is really what surprised me. There was lots of development on Bond and Madeline Swan in particular. Um, just I don't know, like their relationship, which I didn't find as believable in Spectre. It was more believable here. I still don't think they have great chemistry, but the situations they're put in and the individual performances are so good that it was more believable than it was before. Um, the performances here, Craig, he's phenomenal as always. He's very committed to the role, despite what some of his interviews may say otherwise. Wanting to cut himself with glass and such, you can still tell he's very committed to this. You can tell he does a lot of the action himself. So yeah, he's great as always. Leah Sado, she gives a very endearing and emotional and believable performance. It's crucial to the entire film working. She is a very important part of the film, and I didn't like her a ton in the past movie, but I actually really did enjoy her presence here, so that was good. I'd say the standout of the entire movie. I'm not saying anything original here. This is what everyone is saying. Ana de Armas is incredible in this movie. She's in one scene, which is makes it even more impressive. She's in one extended like 15-minute or so set piece scene, but she is just so incredibly like charming and just enrapturing. Like she always catches your attention. That I think she's easily one of the most memorable parts of the film. And just in her performance here, she's like a little naive, nervous, but still like extremely excited to be like a spy and doing action and stuff. I could see shades of like potentially how her Marilyn Monroe performance could be, which was exciting. Lashana
If
Lynch,
Netflix lets that movie be, if they
if
let him
Netflix
make
lets
that
that movie
movie,
release, yeah, it's
don't,
apparently very like X-rated and such. But let him do
as
what
it
he wants
should
to do.
be.
If it's gonna go to
Anyways,
Netflix, just let it be whatever. But yeah, that was supposed to be this year, but Netflix messed that up for us. I'm still excited for it. Then Lashana Lynch, she does a good job with the role she's given here. She nails all the action, and she is like a badass on the same level as Daniel Craig's Bond, which is hard to achieve. Um, I just wish she had more development and involvement overall, but for what she is in, she serves her purpose well. Rami Malek as the villain, he's serviceable. He's not like who was it, Javier Bardem or Mads Mikkelsen, who I think were good villains. He doesn't get a ton of screen time. He's really only mostly in the third act. He's still a good enough antagonist, but his intentions and motivations were interesting as well. But he's definitely not the highlight of the movie. I would say. Yeah, I think there's a lot of nice moments of humor thanks to Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I think she adds a lot to the script, especially to the female characters. But you can just see she is a great writer of dialogue, and I think this has some of the best lines and just overall interactions of any of the Bond movies. So I hope she continues working on big blockbusters like this because she made it significantly more entertaining, in my opinion. There are still some story flaws with the plot and such, but I think most Bond films have these big plot holes because they can get convoluted, like with what they're about. Like, I want to destroy the whole world, and here's my plan, and I'm going to kill you. Oh no, you escaped, and such. Um, yeah, but I can forgive that because overall, it's extremely entertaining, and they're not big flaws. It's a little long. I don't know if it was the fact that I needed to go to the bathroom, but I felt the length towards the end. It was yeah, but it wasn't it was worth it in the end, based off of the payoff. I wanted more of Q and Moneypenny in this movie. I love both of those actors and their characters. They didn't have big roles here, sadly, especially since the last movie. Jeffrey
It's
Wright was
very
good as
sad that
Felix.
blockbusters don't use Naomi Harris the way that they should.
I know, I know she was in Venom too, and they just wasted her.
Yep.
She's so good as Moneypenny too. I mean,
Mm,
someone just needs to use her right. I mean, look at the performance she gave in Moonlight. I mean, just
fucking hell. Yeah.
use use her properly, Hollywood. God. Um, but yeah, I think this is a really good movie. Was the thing that surprised me the most was the emotion. It's a very emotional movie. I'm not even that connected to this overall like universe, and I was tearing up towards the end, especially because of Hans Zimmer's score. I mean, he's Hans Zimmer. What can I say? And I think he helps with a lot of scenes here, raising the emotion with his score, but especially one scene towards the end. He does a really good job. His score is really good here. It's not going to get Oscar nominated because Zimmer is winning his Oscar for a different movie releasing this upcoming weekend. Of course, of course. I can't believe that man only has one Oscar, but yeah, they're going to fix that this year. But yeah, overall, really good movie. As we end all reviews here, Oscar chances. These movies usually get into sound. I think the sound here is really good, so it will get into sound. Billie Eilish has her song. I think that'll get in. I think
I do
that'll
like
get
that
in.
song.
The opening, it's one of my favorite opening credit sequences too for the Bond songs. It's very good. And connects to the movie very well. It's a nice improvement and step up after we had to deal with writing on the wall in the last one. Not as good. Um, but yeah, overall, really good movie. Those are the only categories I'd say gets in at the Oscars. Those two, maybe cinematography, but that's a packed category this year, so I have doubts.
Production
Um,
design?
I hope so, but once again, there's a lot of period pieces and other things that I think they prefer their period pieces in that kind of stuff over modern stuff. So I have doubts about that. I think those two categories it will get in. I don't know if it will win either, but some people think Daniel Craig is gonna get nominated at the BAFTAs, which would be interesting.
He was nominated for Casino Royale.
Yeah, it is his last run, and this is probably my favorite performance of him as Bond. So he would be deserving. I doubt he
Mm.
gets in at the Oscars. You never know, but
If he
yeah,
didn't get in for Mikael Blomkvist, I don't think he will get in.
yeah. He's never been Oscar nominated, has he?
Nope.
That stinks for him. Eventually, at some point, he's been Golden Globe nominated for Knives Out. But yes, really good movie. Check it out. Watch it in theaters. Please do not watch it whenever it hits online. Um, I've I watched it on a big screen. The action, especially like I said, the opening scene, incredible, incredible action, and just the locations. It's shot so well. Um, I always mess up his name, Kerry Joji Fukunaga. I said that as best I could. He is an incredible director here. He does a really, really good job. I forget who the cinematographer is, but he or she also did a really good job. So yes, check it out. It's a great end to the Daniel Craig Bond era, and yeah, that is that. If I were to give it a score, I'd give it. What do you think the rating scale should be here? At one out of like 100, like a grading scale, or do you want to do out of 10 or 5?
What do you think? Um,
Letterboxd
like
is
if you
5. I kind of
Letterboxd is
like
five.
tens. Yeah, I kind of like tens more because there's more range there.
Yeah, I'd be the same. I'd go for the tens
Yeah,
because
I
it's
would.
very hard for me on Letterboxd to give films like I'd love to give some films a one, but unfortunately I can only give Venom and Space Jam half a star, which is a shame.
Yeah, yeah, and
So
you
yeah.
can't do the halves because I would give this an 8.5 out of 10.
Hmm.
So yeah, really good movie. Check it out. Watch it.